Well, okay, guys. Thank you guys for joining us today for the Sellers Lead coaching call and troubleshooting. Today, we're going to be looking at the art of the conversation with the seller, the potential listing that you're going to take, and what's the psychology behind the person you're speaking to, and what's your strategy on how you're going to communicate with them in such a relevant way that they will let you in the door and also agreeing to go into a contract with you that you can list or sell their property, whatever makes the best use, the best for them in the area of cash offer or a traditional sale. We got to understand one thing is that the sellers are asking for cash, but their mindset is they want a traditional market value offer. Okay, since we know that's the thought of the seller, so I'm gonna be prepared for that conversation. One of the things that I've been noticing from the conversations with the people that's working the seller leads is that we'll go in and we're afraid to have the conversation. We'll go in, we're thinking the cash offer is our end game, and it's not. So we're gonna break that down to a strategy that I think that we all can work with and be comfortable in. Now, one of the things is that we've given everyone a script. Now, the script is good, I think it is, especially because I wrote it. But the script is only a guide. You must be able to understand the script internally, so you can bounce from whatever area you need, so you don't sound like a robot or sound robotic when you're speaking to them. The biggest thing is introducing yourself, letting them know that you are Kelvin Verrett with eXp Realty, and I'm giving you a call because you were speaking to one of my agents and they informed you that I'll be calling you, and this is that call. And you know, we say, well, I'm going to start at the beginning. Hey, hi, this is Kelvin. Hello, may I speak to Cody Cobb? Cody says, yes, this is Cody. So, hi, Cody, I'm Kelvin Verrett with eXp Realty. The reason I'm giving you a call is you've been speaking with one of my sales agents, and they informed you that I'll be calling you. Now, I'm calling you, Cody, about the property at 123 Primrose Lane. Are you the owner? Yes, I am. Great. Cody, I want to ask a question. Are you still interested in selling your property? That's it. That's right in the beginning of the call. He says yes. Now I continue the call. He says no. I said, well, Cody, thank you very much. By the way, do you know anyone else that may be interested in taking a cash offer on their property that I maybe can offer my services to? No, I do not. Thank you very much, Mr. Cody, for speaking with me today. You have a great rest of the day. I'll mark that red and I'll go to the next person. That's it. Now, if he says yes, now I'm open to have the rest of the dialogue. Great. And then the rest of the script is just help you guide you to the conversation. He's interested in selling, and if you can go from that point to say, well, fantastic. The only thing I need to do now is to schedule an appointment so I come out and view the property. What works best for you, Monday or Tuesday, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, morning or evening? And if I can go straight to that, I'll go to that and end the conversation. Right? But it'd be better if I can have the conversation and get some ammunition, because I want to know their why. I want to know what's their motivation for selling. Is it because it's a hot market? Is it because they need to get close to the family? Is it because they're being laid off on their job? Are they struggling financially? You know, are they getting ready to retire? Do they want to get rid of the responsibility? Well, if I know that information over the phone, when I meet with them, I can have a much more engaging conversation with them through the information they gave me on the phone, just like a traditional listing. And one of the things that made me so successful in listing buyers or sellers was that whenever I met with my client in a traditional environment, we never went seeing houses the first time around. We sat down and we spoke. I found out about their family, I found out about their why, and we really connected. And when we connected, their confidence level in me and their trust in me went through the roof, and I was able to take them out. And I'm saying this here, and this is a true statement, 70 to 75% of every client I ever worked with, when I went out with them, they wrote offers the first time I went out, or if I went to the listing, I took the appointment before I left. It was strictly because I was able to engage them in conversation. I wasn't going there for a business deal. I was going there to meet them, to understand them, and then show them how I can help them with their concerns or their needs in the area of transacting real estate, whether it's buying or selling. I always wrote, when I was working with buyers, I always wrote contracts out every time I took my buyers out. Because once I understood what their why was, I was able to navigate the listings and the things that's out there to be more specific to what they were asking for. And every time I went out, I wrote 2 or 3 contracts. Every time I went to a listing, I took the listing. Very rarely they met with another realtor after they met with me. And the only thing I had that gave me the advantage is that I was able to ask the questions, and we call that stacking the ammo. So on your phone call, I want you to say, yes, I'm interested in selling my property. Say, great. I just have a couple of questions I want to ask you about the property. Now, this is key. When you ask about the property, that's where you get the warm up to let them tell you about their inside life at the same time. But you're not going to say, I want to know about you. I want to know about your property. And then it says, sure, let me ask you a few questions. Have you made any major improvements on the property? Did you change anything structurally? Have you, painted and put new carpet and roofing? Now, these things are important, but you're going to see that when you get there. But that's not really what you're after. You're really after their real motivation. But I can't go to the motivation directly. I have to go indirectly. How long have you lived in the home? Now I'm getting personal now. Have you raised your kids in the home? And then are your kids still living with you now? Wow. And 20 years in the home, I said, wow. I said, you must have some great experience in the home. And if you just pause long enough, they'll open up, start talking. And then when they start talking, it's your job to shut up, to listen. They will tell you everything you need to know to close the deal. But if you don't get to this point of that emotional with them, where you do the emotional transaction, you're never going to get the ammunition you need. They'll say, I've been in the house for 20 years. I raised my daughter, and then I did this, and I got married in the house. They'll give you all these things here. Now, this has nothing to do with the sale, but it has everything to do with the sale. Because now I'm getting personal with them. Now, I'm not just talking about me, because I'm not saying anything about me. I'm really speaking about them. Because this book I read by Dale Carnegie is How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's talked about the art of listening. If you get a person to be able to speak to you about themselves and let them talk, and then you at the same time you engage them, and you always engage them using their name. I may say Cody in my conversation about 10 times, and Mr. Cody or this or that, and then that will allow me to be able to win them to my side or to my position of where I want to move them to. So they talk about their family, they talk about their why, and then they don't give me enough information. I'm asking another probing question. Well, Cody, you mentioned that you raised your family here and it's time to move on. Now, any reason why you moving to Arizona? And, I want to be near my daughter, and that's another point. And you got to take notes. I'm because the house is too expensive. I'm retiring, and my income is going to be different, so I need to reduce my cost. Okay, that's a huge motivation there. Or I got medical bills coming up and I need to release some of my property so I can have money to pay for this. Or I want to give a donation to my favorite charity. Or I want to help my children. Or whatever that is, these are the things that's going to help you seal the deal when you get to the house. So now I've asked about the property 3 or 4 questions. Then I eased into a personal conversation. Not conversation in the area of me talking and they talking, me listening and their speaking. But I will ask about the house. I will ask about the job. When are you going to retire? Have you retired? What are you going to do once you sell the home? And they'll tell you, I'm going to travel the world. I'm going to do this or that. And these are the things that's going to give you the talking points when you meet with them. So now we've got the information. I said, great. Thank you for sharing about the home and about your future plans. I'm really excited to be working with you. So the only thing we have to do now is schedule an appointment. I have a couple of days open on my schedule. Now listen, you always so busy, you only have a few selected spots available. So you will look at your schedule, which you've already done already. I have an opening on Friday and I have an opening on Monday. In morning on Monday at 9 o'clock, and I have a 11 o'clock on Monday. Or Thursday, I have a 2 o'clock or a 4 o'clock. And then which one will work best for you? I'll take Thursday at 4 o'clock. Now, you may have nothing on the books, but you must always be busy. So now I've closed in. I've got the appointment set. I have the date set. And I say now, Cody, what I want to do now is I want to send you a text message or an email confirmation of our appointment. What is your email address? I'm going to get an email address. Make sure I have the information. And is this your cell phone? Great. So I'm going to set the schedule now to confirm our appointment. When you receive the email or the text message, be sure you confirm it, and then that's going to make sure that we're going to meet on this date and this time. If for some reason that you cannot make the appointment, something changed, would you be so kind as to reach out to me and so we can reschedule the appointment, and I will be more than happy to do that for you. But right now I have you booked for a Tuesday at 11 o'clock, and just need you to confirm it, okay, Mr. Cody? Great. All right. Thank you very much for the time. I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday at 11 o'clock. And really, that is my whole conversation with them. Now, did I go by the script? No. But I did follow the script because I added the things that I needed to know to make the appointment. So what I want you guys to do is, in the first part of your conversation, are you still interested in selling your property? They say yes. You say hot dog, not to them, okay? But at that point, you said, now, next thing I want to do is I want to confirm some things about your property. Have you made any structural changes? Now, this conversation here, again, is just to start the conversation. And then the rest of it is to get the personal information. So what is my goal? I want the personal information. I want to know their why. I want to know their passion. I want to know their motivation. So when I get that information, when I meet with them, they're like putty in my hand because I know everything to connect with them. I know what's motivating them, and I don't come in as a threat. I'm coming in to take that problem, that core problem they have, and put a solution to it. And that is my cash buyer or my strategic marketing plan. Now, this is the part where it's the most important part of your engagement with the seller. If you don't have your listing presentation together, I need you to get it together. If you don't know how to present, then you need to get into the classes with eXp Realty or with the Thursday coaching calls and learn this here, and not just go over one time, because if you're going to be a listing agent, a listing expert, then you got to be expert at your skill set. And if you're not practicing your scripts and you're not practicing your closing campaign, then chances are you're going to go through there and leave without the listing. So if your bread and butter is taking listings, then you must be a listing expert. In fact, change your name. I'm Cody Cobb, listing expert. I'm Cody Cobb, listing specialist. That's who you are. Now, and with a buyer, you're a buyer specialist, or you're the buyer's expert, you're whatever that is. But you're a specialist in the field. So when I'm speaking with them, I'm Kelvin Verrett, listing specialist. And my superpower is helping you get as much money for your home in the quickest, most convenient time. What's the best time for us to meet? Not just call to action and always be closing. So I'm at the appointment. I've got to the door. Hey, how you doing? And then as Daniel teaches, we go in and we say, would you mind showing me your home? You don't go in and say, let's sit down and talk money. Show me your home. Why? I'm stacking ammo. I'm always gathering information. When they go through, oh, I've done this in the home, I've done that, in the pride of ownership. Even if the home is not so nice, they have a lot of joy or passion about their home. And at that point there, you just make sure that you be observant and you be a great listener. It's not about the sale, because 90% of your sale is listening. The other part of your sale, closing, is 20%. So if I listen good enough, then everything I articulate back to them is going to be circled around their core desires. To get the highest value, the quickest, most convenient time, to get the home sold, to get them to where they want to go at. So I'm going to talk my listing campaign around everything that they share with me, about going to see the kids and when they need to get there, the job change and whatever it is. And then we're going to get down to the point, then great, and I'll show them what I'm going to do for them, how I'm going to get it done. This is my strategic marketing plan. If you don't have one, then get you one. It's already there. Daniel gave it to us. You don't have to do all 25 slides, guys. It would take one slide. That's all you need. Do the one slide. But make sure that you sit there, you're confident, you believe in what you're saying, because if you have fear, they smell it. If you're nervous, they smell it. So how do you do it? You do it often, and then you do it often, it becomes easy. This is all Daniel. I mean, that's just all Daniel. It comes easy. So we just make sure that you do enough getting into the door. We know how to get to the door. We know how to view the home. And they say, great, look at your home. It's wonderful. Compliment, even if it's not complimentable, find something good to say. And then you circle around to the table, and then you say, would you mind sitting here? Would you mind sitting there? Especially with COVID, there's where we are 6 feet apart, and you're in. You one end there at the other end. It may not be the most convenient, but that's what you do. Place them where you want them to be at, and then you sit down and you start your closing process, and then you articulate what they already said to you. Now, Cody, you mentioned that you needed to be in Arizona and by November. Is that correct? Yeah, great. So let me show you what we can do for you to help you meet that timeline. This is my strategic proven marketing plan, and we've helped tons of sellers, and you have, Cody, with your team. You may have not sold a house, but your team has sold thousands of houses. We have helped hundreds of agents, many sellers get their home sold with this proven system that works. So this is what we do first, and then you go through your seven stages of your sales process, and you don't have to go through it all. If Daniel said something on our last call when we were doing our call, he said that you craft or you customize your presentation to your client. If they're analytical, then you're going to deal with numbers. If they're more of the emotional side of it, or the visual person, you may have to talk more abstract to them. But you have to be an art of communicating and knowing who you're speaking to. And if you're analytical, then you got to take your analytical hat off for this person here, because once you meet the core of where they communicate at, you can always say, other than that, any reason why we couldn't get started today? Oh yeah, I'm ready to get started, but how much you gonna list the house for? And then you better ready to answer that. Well, I can list the price for anything any price you would like to list it for. But the fair thing is, what is a buyer willing to pay for your home in this market, in the current market today? I think you're in a great opportunity today because the market is a little tight, and buyers are actually paying higher for properties than the actual market value. So let me show you how my system that will work for you. And then you tell them how you're going to strategically price their home out, and then they're going to create what we call a bidding war or a buyer's frenzy when they come and see your home, and everyone's going to try to buy your home from someone else because it is such an advertising offer. Then also, another strategy for your home buying is that if you offer 3% to the co-opting agent that's going to help you sell a home, chances are you're going to sell a home quicker. So what I'm saying to you is this here. If you can't get 6%, which everyone can, then you may consider taking less and giving more to the other side. You know what that's going to do for you, right? You're going to sell more homes more quicker. It's a volume game. And I'm not saying take less. I'm not at all. But if you find that to be advantageous for you, and you're selling 10 homes a month instead of 5 homes a month, then it's a volume number for you. So the goal is get 6%. And you may give 3.5% to the co-op agent, and you take 2.5%. That sounds crazy, but it's not. You'll be selling homes like hotcake. Now, in this market, it's different because it's such a frenzy out there now. If you offer 3%, you golden, because I see agents right now, I'm just like mad with them. They offering 2% on listings and 2.5% on listings. I'm like, if I had a 3% and a 2%, I will not show you a home. I'll push more for the 3% commission every day. He said, is that fair? Yes, it is. Because it's about getting the most value I can get on my side. So that's all I have to offer on that side. I'm going to stop right now. I think I've covered it. Now let's open it up for some questions that you guys may have for me on the things I covered.
I have a question for everyone on the call. Where are you getting held up? So I've been hearing from a few of you that you're not getting past the I don't want to sell, like first 30 seconds, like, nope, I don't want to sell. Kelvin, what I like about what you just did is when someone says, no, I'm not interested in selling, even though they've already told someone that they are, then you say, oh, okay, whatever you just said. Do you know anyone who's interested in getting a cash offer? Well, that might pique their interest back. So number one, are you having a hard time getting past no? And number two, have you been saying, oh, do you know anyone else who wants a cash offer? And has that been reversing anything for you on the phone calls?
Yes. Good question there, Amanda. Open your mics up, guys. Let's call troubleshoot Monday. Let's troubleshoot here and see how we can get some listings out of this.
So one of the things that I've been successful in doing, I think that I've intentionally avoiding asking that question first. So I don't start with saying, hey, are you still interested in selling? What I start with is saying, hey, I represent a group of qualified buyers first. That's my first step. And possibly even cash buyers. Those are the two things that I focus on as a part of that. And then I'll say, Kelvin, Kelvin, are you still interested in selling your home if I could connect you with one of these qualified buyers?
That's good, Amir. Now,
So when you ask a direct question, you open the door for a closed-in answer.
Mm-hmm. That's very good, Amir. And you see what he did, right? Same thing. He just customized it to his style. But he asked the question. He said, I'm throwing the carrot out. I got qualified buyers want to buy your house. And are you interested in selling?
Yeah, that's a part of the script. I mean, the script really kind of walks you through the piece where you don't get the open-ended or the closed-end questions.
Yeah.
Because those are the ones that give them the leeway to say no. A lot of times they don't want to be bothered by a phone call.
And the tagging in on what Amir just said is that I asked the question. I say, you have been speaking to my agents, Matt, Alex, Troy, Amir, Donovan, Amanda, it doesn't matter. And they informed you that I'll be giving you a call. And this is that call. So now they know why I'm calling them, because if you've been speaking to them, then you know why I'm calling. And are you still interested? Not are you interested? Are you still interested in selling your house? And that's the question. And Amir, your way is fine. And nothing wrong with it. Because he just added into it, I got qualified buyers. Are you interested in selling your house? Or would you sell your house to one of my qualified buyers? Same thing, articulated different. That fits his style. And if your style's a little different, make it your own. So you can be original Sandina, original Donovan, original William, and not a clone of anyone that written the script. It's your script. But if you know it, then you can go from A to B, Z to A, and M to N, anywhere in that script, and make it to fit the person that you're speaking with. Very good. And anyone else have a place where they're getting stuck with the conversation? Let me ask a question. How many of you guys are making phone calls right now today? And how many today? Show me your pictures. Unmute. Show your faces, guys. I don't see no face. Donovan, Sandina, Cody. All right. Donovan, Sandina, open up. So how many of you guys today have made 5 phone calls to your listings? Great.
I'm currently working just buyers only, so I'm
all right.
self-excluded.
Have you made 5 calls to your buyers?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. Now this is the part of the coaching here that I want to put you guys a call to action. You are required by being an agent.
Oh my God.
Hey, Miss Adina. So
Hi.
I want
Sorry, I'm on the phone and I couldn't get to it.
Okay, no problem. I
Yes,
understand.
Where I get stuck is when I ask to meet with them. That is where I get stuck. But and another thing is when I tell them, I go by the script. When I get to where I said that you have spoken to, I got a lot of them hung up on me saying, I told them I'm not selling. I told them I'm not selling, and boom. So that's where I lose a lot of them
Okay,
right there.
so you want
But I have a few of them, if you look on my list, that they're not selling right now. I'm still holding on to them. I still talk to them. They're not selling because they're retiring in 2-3 years, and I almost got them to list. But when I said to meet with them, then they said, no, I'm not going to sell it right now. I'm still working. I'm not giving up on them.
Okay, all right. But so they didn't say no. They didn't say not now. So what you do is you put them in the You put them in your Rolodex or your CRM, and you have a follow-up phone call date with them. That's all, and just
Yes.
stay in touch. I have a 60-day program that I call, it's called Who Do You Know, and every 60 days they pop up on my list, and I say, hey Amanda, this is Kelvin. Look, I know it's been a couple of weeks since we spoke, and I just want to get back with you, see how things are going. Great. Have anything changed? No. Great. So Amanda, I know you're on hold right now, but by the way, you know anyone that's looking to buy and sell a home in the next 12 months? And I just ask for referrals, but I'm creating relationship with them. Put everyone on a marketing campaign. When I say that, this is the market value report, the every 30-day report. Not on an everyday report like a drip campaign, but a market value report. That's a 30-day report that comes out every 30 days. You send it to every one of your leads. And then that way, every 30 days, they get an evaluation of the market, and the stimulus said, whoa, houses up, houses down, I better sell. And it keeps you in front of them. So that's one way of doing it. The market value report, everyone gets on that. Okay? Now, especially the people that says I'm interested, not the ones say I'm not interested. If they say I'm not interested, then guys, go to the next. We got enough leads coming through that you don't have to be worried about who says no. You're going to get the no's. But I've been fortunate, though. I make the calls, and I promise you, if I make 10 calls, I get 6 to 7 yes. I don't know, just the numbers I'm running through, or maybe the area that I'm in, but I get a lot of yes. But just know that when they say no, it's not to you. It's just that they're not ready. And don't let it be a personal reflection upon your ability to connect with them, because they only want to speak with you if they want to sell their homes. And if they don't, then you help them with a solution. Maybe you can offer something else or get a referral from them. So this is marching order, guys. You're in real estate, and your job is to cut out 2 hours every day. And I'm gonna say every day. 5 days a week. I do 4 minimum, but 5 but 5 is my real estate prospecting day. But 2 hours a day. That means that from 8 o'clock, actually from between 8 and 11, my time is blocked, and I take and I make phone calls. I'm asking for business, win, lose, or draw. And if you're not putting in your 2 hours a day minimum prospecting, you're not in real estate. You need to go get a job.
Okay, so I have something, and I have another meeting, so I have to jump off really quick. So, I mean, I don't have a problem with anything of it. The problem I'm having is that I'm trying to outsource it, and that's where I'm struggling. So I don't make those phone calls every day. I have 3 call centers right now making the calls, but they're not like me, to where I have objection handlers. I have things where I could just maneuver. Okay, you don't want to do it right now? Totally understand. However, I'd still like to come out to the house, because if the house has been vacant for 30 days, did you realize that you should have some kind of vacant property coverage just because it's hurricane? Like, I'm just good like that. And I'm not even a salesperson. I just come from the knowledge. So when I hear, I'm a solutions person. So I'm always just, okay, what do you need? How can I help? Okay, so I got something for that too, So I can always get in a door. I never have a problem, but I can't do everybody's door by myself. I need help. So now I'm training, and I'm not really coaching, but I'm.
Yes, you are. I can hear you. I can hear you in your body. Yeah, you coaching. That was good. I want to come jump in your class. I'm like, all right, but.
So that's my shortcoming. So,
Okay.
How do you, like, you're having these? How do you create another you?
Repetitive speaking into their lives, and find the ones that want. Now, if you have a call center, that means that you're paying them, or they're getting a commission for doing the calls.
I'm paying them up front. I don't do commission on the back end. Any call center, any of y'all that does that is dead wrong. They should not be charging you a percentage after charging you a fee.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so what it is that they're not getting the results from the calls that they're making. So
Right.
I would sit down, and if it is somewhere local or somewhere you sourcing out of state, out of the country.
I have all sources. I've got a caller out of California. I've got one out of Orlando. I've got one out of Nicaragua. I mean, I'm diversified, and I'm still just like, if you gave me that same list of 100 and I sat there and called them, I would be able to convert hands down at least a good 35 to 50%.
Okay, so
off of the first conversation, but they're bringing maybe 10% of that.
So let me ask a question then. Do you make any calls at all yourself?
No.
No.
I'm the fire person. I put out the fires. I'm the one, as an agent gets stuck, they're about to lose the deal, it's about to go stop. I'm the one who brings you in the next resource that you need to save the deal. So I'm the
Okay.
problem solver in the background. I really don't enjoy working with clients anymore. However, I'm struggling to find somebody to replace me.
Right, right. So your role is a little different than the average agent, but that's a good problem to have. So one of the things I would suggest is, do they have a way of recording the calls where you can monitor what's going on the calls? And then
So I've even tried that. So you could do a Mojo dialer where you can dial 3 numbers at a time, or you can do single calls. So I've been kind of evaluating both sides, and I'm finding that the single call is actually better than the Mojo dialer when calling certain leads. So if you're calling like cold or whatever, then do the Mojo dialer. If you're calling like somebody out of your database, your sphere, then use just a regular single dialer.
Yes, and that's exactly right. So with your group that's dialing, are they dialing these seller leads here, or are they dialing a different set of leads?
So I'm a seller. We only handle sellers right now, commercial property, raw land. I refer all the buyers out. We're not touching buyers right now. It's
Okay, all right. Now I would say, take your closing skills and what you're doing and coach the people that you're working with. I would to like this call here, I would go through and what is the top 10 problems that you're having with your calls, and get everybody to send in their problems, and then you take and troubleshoot them problems with a coaching call. And this is what you do here. And then we know it's all about them knowing where to go at in a conversation when they get stuck or something happens and they don't really don't know what to do. But it goes back to, like you say, well, just let me get in the door. That's my objection. And that's what I was sharing with the guys here. Our goal is to get in the door. And if we get in the door, we close the deal. But if we have enough information getting through the door, we'll be better. But your people are getting paid already, so their buy-in may not be there to go to the next level. And they made 25 calls, I made 100 calls to get no answers, but they're not vested in going deeper to make sure that that call is thoroughly investigated to see if there's any options there to get through, instead of no, I'm not interested. And that may be
The other thing, Kelvin, if I might add, is that when you're talking about somebody's home, which is what we're doing, it really starts with relationship. Unless you're dealing with people that, even I found the same thing even with investment properties. While they're not as attached, they remember, hey, when we bought this property and the tenants moved in. And so a lot of times what you're dealing with is actual relationships. And so what I found, because I've been working with call centers as well, is that a lot of the folks do not have the ability to develop relationships. And relationships is what gets you the appointments to actually sell.
And to piggyback on that, Amir, is because they're looking at dialing volume versus content. And if they're on a volume thing, they don't have the time to have them deeper conversations, because they didn't hit their 100 numbers, now they're gonna get fired. But if it's coming up, your goal is to get 10 appointments this week instead of 1,000 calls, then that may be the thing where they're not stopping, slowing down to engage the conversation you want. Because I know when I was working call center, I did a little call center myself, it was a numbers game. And the content didn't matter. As long as I hit the number, I'm not getting fired. But if I had a goal on getting the appointment, and rather than the number, then if I came out with 10 appointments and not hit the numbers, I'm still got my job. So my thing is to be able to maybe have some kind of structure in, if you give me 10 qualified appointments this month, then you get a bonus. Or this week, I got a gift certificate, or whatever that may fit in your strategy, but give them a reason why to get that appointment versus I made 100 calls, I'm a hero.
For both of you, that's a very good point, and I'm actually doing that now. I don't care. So what I'm doing is I'm not giving them all the leads all at once. Mm-hmm. I dissect them instead of trying to overload them with 2,500 leads to put into a dialer, and now they're just looking at making sure that they make contact with all 2,500. I'm kind of breaking it down into smaller sections, and that's why I have 3 call centers, because I'm beta testing them against each other. Who's going to do what? Who's better with expired listings? Who's better with FSBOs? And I mean, real estate is trial and error. If you don't believe in failing forward, this is not the business for you. So you just got to pick it up and keep moving. And I don't know, it's been a journey.
Yeah, and that's good. Yamari or Yamandi, is that correct?
Yamandi.
Yamandi, that is correct. And so you guys are doing 8 hours of calls a day then?
So more than 8 hours because I have 3 call centers doing 40 hours a week.
Wow.
But I do national probate. I do other stuff too.
Okay.
So I don't just do regular residential sales. I do investment. I do portfolio, hotels. I don't know. I dabble in a little of everything.
Okay. So Yamandi, who are you with? Are you with EXP or are you with another company?
I have a team under EXP.
Okay. I want to be like you when I grow up.
I don't know.
Fayetteville. She runs the Fayetteville team.
Okay. Awesome. So
You see the bags under my eyes. You don't want to live like me.
only for a season. But guys, the thing with what Yamari was saying and what I'm saying to you guys, your business is prospecting. Prospect your 2 hours a day. Do your follow-up files after your prospecting, then take your appointments. Okay? Or take your appointments and then follow up your files after the appointments. But do not compromise your 2 hours a day. Write it down right now today. Commit to yourself. I will prospect 2 hours a day. Period. Non-negotiable. I will prospect 2 hours a day. The family know that dad, mom is in the dialing cave. Don't disturb them. This is the time that you produce. And if you do that every day, I guarantee you will have more appointments than you can shake a stick at. You will be busy meeting people and signing contracts. That's the only thing that will get you guys. And the first thing happens is they want to take away our time of prospecting. The wind blow. Oh, I can't prospect because I have to put out a fire. But if you don't prospect, there's going to be no fires to put out. So do not compromise your prospecting. You're a real estate agent. Work 2 hours a day and play the other 8 hours if you want to. But you make sure that you do your calls every day. If you don't have no calls, open a phone book up if there's one and dial the white pages. I should do that. I'll dial the white pages and I'll go ABC. Because if you don't have clients, then you need to get some. And if you don't have leads, then you need to go find them. And we know that COVID is here and it changes the way we do things. But your job, and this is going to be the hardest thing for you to do, because nobody wants rejection. Your psychologist says that I don't want anybody to tell me no, and that's pain. I don't want to deal with pain, but get over the pain. It becomes easy once you realize it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about the people that's looking for help, and you have the answers because you're a real estate professional that can help them with selling or buying a home. You're with the school. You've been trained by the best trainers around, and to keep your worth away from them is a travesty. So your job is to go forward and find the people that need your help and show them your value add on how you can help them get what they want in the time they want and get them as much money as possible or save them as much money as possible because you're a real estate professional. That's my coaching for you guys today. I know you can do it. Now, how many of you guys are willing to commit from this call to next Monday that we're going to put in 10 hours of prospecting? Raise your hand if you're going to be in. I'm putting my hand up. I don't see no hands here. Now, your call center, you go with 40 hours in, so you can put both hands up. But the thing what I'm saying to you guys, do this here, and I promise you, next week, you're going to come back in and say, man, I did it, and I have, and you're going to tell us all the wins that you've already created. Just do it, and it's going to make it work. Okay? At this time, I'm going to end the call. I think this was very productive. And hopefully you guys got one nugget out of it that will make a difference in your real estate career. I am going to prospect 2 hours a day because I'm a prospecting king. I'm a machine. I make my phone calls. And listen, it's not as much as volume as quality. Make sure you connect with the people, ask the questions, and if they don't need your business, they know someone that needs business. If your database have 200 people in it, that's 12 transactions this year for you. Every 200 people will give you 4 deals, 4 referrals a year. That means that they'll do business with you or they refer 4 people to you. So make sure that you go through your database and call your people. It doesn't matter if they need you. Somebody they know need you. So always say, by the way, who do you know that's looking to sell a home in the next 12 months? That'll conclude this training for today. Any other questions before we stop?
No, I just have one recommendation for Sandina. Sandina, he was talking about giving, like to your drip campaign, a light CMA. So what you can do is you could just tell them that you want to give them a more thorough or in-depth market evaluation. That way, if you know that you convert them better in person, you're offering them something at value and you're not asking, like they're not committed, it's free. And that way now you have them in front of you and now you can convert them to actually potentially considering putting their home on the market. So that's how I do it when I have those tough ones that say they're not interested in selling right now. I tell them about how awesome the market is. And I would just like to give them an evaluation, a little bit more in-depth evaluation to let them know what their house is potentially worth.
Excellent.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you. And I see that Marty put a link in there for us. Thank you for your time.
That's my virtual business card. You guys all need to get one of those. It even has a ring where you can bump somebody and your business card will download into their phone. It even has like a little debit card that you just tap their phone and all of your content will download into their phone. Also, when you update a link, your website, anything, your blog, it'll automatically update in the content.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing
I've done
that.
a lot of research and finally found one that I like it.
Okay. Excellent. All right. That's good. You guys make sure you download that link. I already opened it up. Thank you. I like it. Looks good. All righty. So guys, sell some houses. We're going to go with our team call in a few minutes. Amanda, do you have anything before we close out?
Trying to find the other link. No, that was great, Kelvin. Thank you very much for your California. I'll see you. I'm going to go ahead and start the California team call. North Carolina, thank you for jumping on. Cody, I hope we answered your question as far as phone calls versus the automated messaging. Phone calls is where it's at, buddy. I would not leave messages. Just start pounding out those numbers again and again and again and just get them on the phone. Doesn't matter if they tell you no, just keep going. So you got this.
And the thing about it, guys, these people have said yes. Even if they say they did not, they did say yes. That's how they got on the list. And it's okay that they say no. You just put a red line through it and go to the next person. I will keep the leads coming to you, flood you with the leads until you get enough yeses in. Last week, my goal was to set 5 appointments. I set 3 appointments. And one of the guys that I was prospecting, $2 million listing, he said no at first, but now he's saying yes, and I'm putting the offer together for him now. And we're taking a traditional listing on it. So this is the end game. Not giving up. Not giving up. Make the phone calls. You called them, they weren't there, just go back to the call again. Thank you guys. Have a fantastic rest of the day. I'm Kelvin Verrett, your expert advisor. We'll see you guys at the top. Yes, we will. Bye-bye.